Coming up, we're sitting down with our fellow Panthers in Rolling Hills.
We're also taking it to the field with our student correspondents.
All this and much more, you're watching Topicality. Hello Panthers, it's Autumn with this week's Topicality News Brief. Let's get started. Reports from Houston's ABC 13 were shared on January 20th about a shooting at the off-campus apartments Panther Hill. As this is still an ongoing investigation led by Prairie View Police Department, the only knowledge we have is that multiple shots were fired that left 3 bystanders injured. Blessings to the victims involved in the crossfire and blessings on their recovery. Panthers, we advise you to continue staying aware of your surroundings and staying active in local news. Now, on to statewide news about Texas law schools. Texas has become the first state to disregard the American Bar Association oversight to graduate students. So what this means is that there will be a growing number of law schools abandoning ABA accreditation and also a larger number of individuals who will not be able to translate their law degree to other states. The planning of this change soon began after the ABA revised its standards to include diversity, equity, and inclusion towards their employees, student body, and curriculum. The all-Republican high courts of Texas have been objective in their stance to not implement policies that would acknowledge workplace and academia inequalities, and this will surely have unpredictable outcomes for the state of Texas. Lastly, on to world news. President Trump spoke at the annual World Economic Forum in Davos, Switzerland this Wednesday and addressed the rumored tariffs on Greenland allies, his feelings about economic systems in various European states, more efforts to take Greenland as a U.S. territory, and how he hopes to achieve that. Mistaking the country for Iceland 4 times throughout the speech, other things worth noting in his address, and later on his account on Truth Social, was that he won't be using force to annex Greenland, and he will not be enforcing the 10% or 25% tariff on their allies, which is a positive outcome in international politics. That's all the news we have today. Thanks for watching. This was Autumn Bishop with this week's News Brief. On to Myles with I Have a Bone to Pick.
Fire. It's a new year, but not a new Myles. Today I want to talk about a venerated figure in American consciousness, especially Black Americans. We just had a long weekend in honor of his heavenly birthday. Of course, I'm speaking about the late, great Martin Luther King Jr. Now, I have a lot of bones to pick when on the topic of MLK. We'll get to these at a later date. Today I want to talk about what I hear some people say when honoring him. We always show that same old tired clip of him saying, "Let freedom ring, let freedom ring," in his I Have a Dream speech. After that, apparently, all the problems in America were solved. What's insane is I was drinking the Kool-Aid somewhat as a young kid, but the peaceful Martin, who was always nonviolent and ever so in love with maintaining the status quo, simply doesn't exist. Now, full transparency, I won't sit here and say I'm the all-knowing uber radical, but I do know Big Milk, is that disrespectful to say, was staunchly anti-capitalist and anti-militaristic. In his last speech before his untimely assassination, he spoke about staging quote-unquote large economic withdrawals, detailing the ways the Negroes of the time could take back the power through all sorts of worker strikes. Now let me ask you this. Is the sitting president who seeks domestic paramilitary on undocumented and documented citizens, doesn't matter, the former president who comes in and aids the quelling of what could have been a very important railroad worker strike in 2022, the universities and public schooling systems sweeping the transatlantic slave trade under the rug, are they going to teach you the truth about a man who is the antithesis of the ideals they uphold? I don't think so. I implore you, do the knowledge. Every day, learn something new. Without doing that, the old parable is right. We're doomed to repeat the same mistakes of the past. You can see it all around us. Exhibit A, me and you sitting at home. When was the last time you spoke to your neighbor? When was the last time you caught one of your homeboys for saying some stupid mess like it's not our problem when speaking about a plethora of modern day issues? If you can't say it was in the past 2 weeks, hate to break it to you, we both have a lot of work to do. I'm Myles Gordon, and this has been A Bone to Pick.
This is more than a broadcast. It's a movement. It's the spirit of the Hill, seen, heard, and felt, where the Hill stories come to life. From campus pride to culture in motion, we capture every moment that defines Prairie View, every smile on the yard, every beat of the marching storm, every roar from the stands. This is what connection looks like. Homecoming isn't just a week, it's a legacy we live through the lens. Because at KPVU-TV, we don't just show the moment, we become it. This is our voice, our vision, our Hill. Behind every frame is a purpose. To highlight, to uplift, to inspire. We are the storytellers of PV, the voice behind the visuals, the pulse behind the pride. We turn moments into memories. Hillmatic isn't just the theme, it's how we move. Bold, timeless. We are unapologetically PV because the hill never stops shining, and neither do we.
Hi, my name is Jezell Charles, and I'm here with Topicality. Today, we are interviewing students to see how they feel about Martin Luther King Jr. Today is the day to celebrate and to believe and to remind ourselves that we can dream. So thank you so much, and let's tune in.
How y'all doing? My name is Terry Denby.
This is Dennis Stowers.
And Martin Luther King Day is special to me because, he did stuff a lot of people didn't want to do. He went against the grain, I feel like. And, without him and many others, we wouldn't be here. And we wouldn't be able to, enjoy ourselves, go to places without segregation or anything like that. So I'm thankful for that, and I'm happy to celebrate him and his legacy.
I feel like the impact Martin Luther King had on the community and the day and age today, it really gave every opportunity as far as education, give opportunities for workforce and everything like that.
MLK helped me today by just setting the standard, setting the precedent that I can live up to in everything that I do. Just be the best version of myself and in my skin color, knowing that anything is possible regardless of where I come from or what I look like.
While Dr. King's dream was spoken decades ago, many say its message is far from finished. Events like today serve both a reminder of how far we've come and how much work still remains.
Good evening. I'm Alyssa Hicks, and this is Check the Facts, where we separate political claims from what the evidence actually shows. Tonight, we're looking at 4 major topics shaping current conversations: Greenland and Venezuela, NATO, ICE and Homeland Security, and America's imperial influence. Let's break it down. Claim number 1. The United States must take control of Greenland to protect national security from Russia and China. This claim is false. There is currently no verified evidence of an immediate military threat from Russia or China in Greenland. Greenland's government has explicitly stated that the island is not for sale and has rejected any idea of the U.S. control. While the U.S. does have strategic interests in the Arctic, experts agree this claim exaggerates security concerns to justify geopolitical influence rather than respond to an actual threat. Claim number 2. NATO expansion is entirely defensive and always increases global stability. This claim is misleading. NATO was created as a defensive alliance, but its expansion, especially towards Eastern Europe, has been widely debated. Supporters argue expansion deters aggression, while critics warn it can escalate tensions, particularly with Russia. While NATO does promote collective defense, claiming it always increases stability oversimplifies a far more complex reality. Claim 3. The United States cannot be considered imperialist because it does not formally colonize other countries. This claim is false. Imperialism does not require formal colonization. Through military bases, economic sanctions, political intervention, and influence over foreign governments, most particularly in Latin America and the global South, the U.S. exercises power that many scholars identify as modern imperialism, even when framed as democracy promotion or national security. So what did we learn? Many political claims rely on simplified narratives that don't hold up under scrutiny. Whether it's territorial influence, military alliances, immigration, enforcement, or global power, the truth often lives in the gray areas, not the headlines. That's why asking true or false matters. I'm Alyssa Hicks, and this has been Check the Facts.
This week on the social media app SideChat, there were baseless rumors of ICE agents' presence on campus. The rumor took off Tuesday morning on SideChat through anonymous students' posts. This is after there was assumed to be federal agents cited arresting people in the Bryan College Station area this past weekend. The fear of federal immigration agents bleeds into already troubling encounters with Waller County Police.
This is a black school, and we got some Hispanic folk, we got some white folk, but it's 90-some% black. And they're gonna stop us too. Like, Waller County stopped me. I got pulled over the other day. So, you have to worry about Waller County Police, and then you also have to worry about ICE on campus. I think it's crazy. I think especially because a lot of us are so young and we're not educated on our civil rights.
There's been many deadly encounters with ICE agents, notably in Minneapolis with Renee Good and in LA with Key Porters Jr. The escalation of force nationwide causes worrying parallels to students with immigrant family.
Coming from an authoritarian regime like that of Uganda in like 19 or 1800s, it's a pretty strict parallel. And then with my family having come from Uganda, and they moved to like Utah, and then they was in Chicago, and my family's been through a lot as immigrants and as refugees. So I just feel like it's not something that I personally can like turn a blind eye to or say it's not my problem because I'm black and I'm a citizen.
Trump not proposing de-escalation in regards to how ICE conducts business, students on campus remain vigilant. This is Myles Gordon reporting for Topicality.
Welcome to Common Sense, where we break down the world of economics into something a little less complex and a lot more relatable, making better sense of your latest economic news. I'm your host, Autumn Bishop. Let's jump right in. First, inflation. That's a term economists use to describe how prices for goods rise over time. The official measure the U.S. government uses is the Consumer Price Index, or CPI. Right now, overall CPI is running 0.2% higher than last year, meaning lots of everyday goods cost more than they did 12 months ago. The CPI is measured monthly by the Bureau of Labor Statistics. Some might ask, why does it matter? Because when inflation is higher, your dollar buys less, especially on fixed budgets like student budgets. That's why prices at the pump or the grocery cart feel bigger than they used to. Next is gas prices. Why do they jump? Gas prices aren't random. They're driven by a few main things: the global price of crude oil, how many refineries are working, seasonal demand, pipeline or refinery disruptions, and yes, taxes at the state and local level. So even if crude oil falls, a local refinery outage or higher state taxes can still make pump prices jump where you live. The U.S. Energy Information Administration lays out these factors clearly. Who makes the tax policies? The president or Congress? This one gets confused a lot. The president proposes budgets and tax plans and can shape the conversation, but Congress is the branch that writes and passes tax laws. The president's budget is a powerful recommendation, but any actual changes to federal taxes must go through Congress and then be signed by the president. That means big tax changes are political and require votes in Congress. If a presidential candidate promises a certain tax plan, remember, it still needs congressional approval to become law. Lastly, what do governors do about inflation? States have real power too. Governors can veto state bills, set some regulatory policies, and manage state emergency powers. But most states must balance their budgets. So states respond differently to federal changes, and state tax rates and sales taxes vary a lot from state to state. That's why the cost of living and the impact of national policies can feel very different depending on where you live. We hope you're walking away with some fresh insights and a few tips to boost your economic literacy. The more you know, the smarter your money moves will be. I'm Autumn Bishop, and don't forget to use your common sense.
In a world where the media landscape is consistently evolving, female college seniors in media and journalism are at the forefront of change.
These dynamic young women are not just keeping up with the pace, they're setting it.
Embracing new technology and storytelling techniques are how we keep our content fresh and engaging. We have the power to shape narratives.
Adapting to change means being open to new skills, whether it's mastering digital tools or exploring innovative formats. Our versatility is our strength.
Success in media and journalism today demands a willingness to reinvent, to pivot, and to thrive.
We are the storytellers of tomorrow. Our voices matter, and we won't be silenced.
To the female college seniors ready to take on the world, your journey is just the beginning. Embrace the change, shape the future, and thrive.
Welcome back to Rolling Hills, a student-led discussion about the latest news. I'm Autumn Bishop.
I'm Myles Gordon.
I'm Aiden Brackens.
I'm Caiden Brackens.
Let's get started.
So, with the political climate and everything going around in the world, with this Arctic security or strategic expansion, is the U.S. involvement with Greenland truly about collective NATO defense? What do you think?
You're talking about the U.S. trying to seize Greenland,
yes.
Right? Okay. I think it definitely is an excuse. People always say that national security is like a good justification to like do anything that you want. Mm-hmm. So, I mean, yeah, they're going with it and they're like low-key executing it. And there's been like history of them doing it, so.
I don't think it's national security because when we even talk about it, there's been a lot of clips coming out with Netanyahu and other people, like other U.S. allies and just international leaders. They're talking about it. Trump, in his first term in office, he said before he wanted Greenland. And it was just because he just threw it out there like most of the things he does. But in his second term, the things he just says now, he weirdly is now just having the power or just like bullying force to get what he wants in most cases. So I don't even think it's about defense, because when we're talking about, because when he was in Davos, Switzerland, in the the World Economic Forum, when he was there, he wasn't talking about. He said, why should I defend something that I don't own? Which is weird mindset to have. If you really cared about defense, you would only be trying to defend your ally, which is Greenland and who's Denmark.
And it's also, sorry to cut you off. It's just, it feels kind of weird to me because back then it was kind of bad to be expanding your territory to different countries, but now we're doing it again. But this time it's right when we do it, but it's not right when somebody else does it. It's for me, it doesn't sound right. And at what point does security turn into something that's negative, you know? Because we're saying it's positive, like we're seeing what they're saying it's positive, but on the backside it could be something way worse, but we had no clue, you know?
I think we should put a name to it. What you're saying, the taking, that's imperialism. This is just like right out of the handbook. This is just straight imperialism. It's a new form of imperialism, I think, personally. I don't know what you guys think, but
I don't. I think it's been done before.
So you think? I think it's a different type of imperialism in the sense that we're not doing something like what in Congo or any really African nation. It's when we're not coming in and saying this is, well, we kind of are, but we're not using military force. We're using soft power. We're threatening terrorists. We're going to drop out of the NATO. We're going to do all these different things. These are implementing our soft powers and not hard military powers as what we would believe imperialism was beforehand.
Yeah, that's true. And I actually like that in the Davos convention, in his address, he actually did point to saying we're not going to use military force. But I mean, I think there's already a big threat of military force, and compared to the rest of NATO, there's no winning if NATO wants to go against what the US is saying. So I like that the NATO Security General was kind of appeasing him in that kind of way, because I mean, I don't know if there's really if you guys were in that situation, would you guys object to Trump? Would you guys object to a big force like Trump, or even a big military like Trump?
Personally, I definitely would. Now, I don't know the full situation of everything or how to be in that situation, especially against Trump and how Greenland and the things that they want from Greenland and just buying Greenland in general. But I think that, none of it is making sense. You can say the facts, you can say what they want to say, but none of it is making sense. It's very hypocritical. I mean, even with them trying to justify surveillance on us. Especially with TikTok and Oracle and all that, it sounds like a whole lot of
national security justification.
Yeah.
But I mean, that could be the write-off for anything, but that's already a thing, and that's already kind of legal. I think we already wrote off on all of our information being seized. Foreign Intelligence Surveillance Act. Also, you can justify the Patriot Act can be used in that kind of way as well. So I mean, I'm not hiding anything, I don't know.
I mean, it's not about hiding.
But
there's nothing to hide.
But this is about, people heavily impacted by ICE, because ICE is also buying all of these data things, and DHS is writing off on ICE being able to buy from these data companies that keep all of our stuff.
And really, it's not even, that's one of the avenues that it's connected with what you said, the national security and the Patriot Act. When you're talking about those, that's when we had the Department of Homeland Security created, was after the 9/11 attacks, and that was in tandem with the Patriot Act. Yeah. So with this fear of an other being these Middle Eastern terrorists, who, let's be real here, there was a lot of things complacent in the U.S. government that led to the 9/11 attacks.
Yes.
So, but our reaction is now we have an other, which is the same kind of situation we're having with the Greenland. We have an other to attack. And if we're doing internally in our nation, other is us, black people, or in the terms of ICE, is illegal immigrants or deemed illegal immigrants. Because let's be real, we don't know. ICE doesn't know all the time, even most of the time, who they're arresting or who they're saying is illegal. It's just based on your ethnicity. You look Latino or you look like an immigrant, somehow, some way, you're not going to be profiled, you're going to be taken away. So this power of the taking back the string, the imperialism, the mindset of it's mine, so I should take it. Yeah. It's the inverse of that. Well, you're not, you're an other, so get out. It's on the same thing. It's just a dangerous path.
But I mean, even with that, there's such a thing called a moral compass, common sense, really. If you have this, you'd want to think that, should I do this thing? You would think, should I do this? It doesn't matter if I'm getting paid to do it or not. Even if I, quote unquote, call treason against my own government, I don't care. But what really matters is what you do the right thing in the right moment. Killing somebody in Minnesota, that did not need to happen. That was a bit much. It was a bit too much. It was uncalled. And on top of that, with the way we're going right now, it kind of feels like they're going to create something to predict the future, and if you're going to do a crime, they're going to arrest you before you even do it.
That's Palantir.
That's a huge problem for me. That's why I don't like the whole privacy thing with Oracle, TikTok, Instagram, all of that.
And that's why, I mean, we have rights. They give us rights. They give us the amendments. They give us the Constitution, but they don't follow it. And it's not making sense. How are you going to give us all these things, these major important things that you've put in to stabilize America, and now all of a sudden
they don't follow the rules.
You have all this power and you don't know what to do with it. And you're just pushing, bullying people, you're killing people, and it's not helping us. And you're putting apps out there that can watch us. You're putting websites out there that could potentially ruin your entire life. Things of that nature it's not helping us, and it's not understandable of why they continue to do these things especially with Palantir. Like, they're watching our every move, and sometimes we don't even know it.
Especially with what?
Especially Palantir.
It's an information company. It's a defense contract with a company has a defense contract with the American government. So they get a lot of funding. So they have an algorithm where it says, okay, like Caiden was saying at Black Glasses. Caiden was saying, he said he with the predictive algorithm, they've already made what you're saying. So if I looked up on my laptop some sketchy stuff, maybe like say something like an explosive, Palantir would have the information and say his other search history is indicative of him being a criminal. And there's cases they've sent out agents from the government.
Oh, wow.
You have been flagged as
you've been put on a watch list or something like that.
You've been put on a watch list.
Yeah.
And even with our freedom of speech, we can say anything we want. But if you say anything about your government, you have an opinion about us, we're going to take you in. What? It makes no sense.
But my thing is, I'm really confused, and I've been trying to think about it. I want to hear what you guys think. What exactly are we supposed to do? Like, we're talking about the ICE, we're talking about Greenland. We're young students on campus. You're a poli-sci major, and y'all are communications. Yeah. So with that, what is the onus on us to fight back against this? Are we supposed to be doing collective organizing? Are we doing is it this platform enough? No. Or what are we supposed to be doing?
Everybody has to do their own research. Everybody has to learn. Everybody has to be willing to do what they need to do in order to not just fight back, but learn.
I think the easiest way and the fastest way someone can do it is just to remember legal precedent. Oh, yeah. So to know exactly what the First Amendment is, what the Fourth Amendment is, and to really emphasize that. So to not only look at legal precedent, but to write our own and talk about our own knowledge about it. I feel like that would be good, just so that there's legal backing. I feel like as Black Americans, we have a lot of legal backing in this country compared to undocumented people, so we can use that to our advantage. And then it would also have the largest overwatch if we as a community start to do something, especially if we have less risk. I am an American citizen, so just things like that. It makes you question well, can we even use the Constitution? You know what I mean? So that's lots of questions, but we will be talking about that after this break.
The Brailsford College of Arts and Sciences will be a dynamic learning community inspiring cutting-edge research, interdisciplinary inquiry, and the development of transformative leaders. The Marvin D. and June Samuel Brailsford College of Arts and Sciences at Prairie View A&M University is committed to cultivating global leaders who value human diversity, promote social justice, and are ready to tackle the challenges of our time with both intellect and compassion. We provide a holistic education that bridges the arts, communications, humanities, military sciences, social sciences, and natural sciences, while empowering our students to explore the full spectrum of human knowledge, excel in their chosen fields, and lead with competence, integrity, and social justice.
Integrity, nurturing relationships,
Social justice.
partnerships,
Innovation.
Responsibility.
Excellence.
In the Brailsford College of Arts and Sciences, we inspire.
Welcome back. So I heard you guys. If you are maybe in a time of need, I'm just gonna pose this because honestly, like I don't know, but so I heard that ICE actually is giving people $50,000 bonuses. They're also giving people $60,000 in loan forgiveness, student loan forgiveness. So, you know, Spike Lee, Black Klansman, if you guys have heard of it, would you guys want to take that opportunity yourself and join?
If it wasn't for the loan repayment, I would have said no, but yes, I would.
Quentin Tarantino all the way, you know what I'm saying? I'm gonna have to do it for a little change to pay this money off, you know what I'm saying? I gotta do it.
Okay.
I really, like, no funny. I really don't think I would do it. I just couldn't do it.
Yeah.
I would do it.
It's just not me.
I'm not gonna hurt nobody, but I would do it.
You would have to hurt somebody.
No, I don't want to hurt
Yes,
nobody.
you would.
I feel like
It's a calmer way to do things. You don't go shoot somebody to take them out of there.
But you're
Like,
hurting and like,
that's cool.
ripping the family apart.
I get it. It's cool. But they have a system in order to get here, you know, legally. You know,
but the system's broken.
It is though.
We're not getting-
It
we're not getting
is
into that.
though.
We're not
It
getting
is
into that.
though. It is though.
We're not getting
But if
into that.
you're calm about the situation, and
If you walk up there,
Yeah,
no guns, nothing. Hey, bro, I gotta take you, bro.
But that's not reality.
What?
You know that's not. Like, that's a fantasy world. Like that. You
I know, but that's like I'm just saying.
acting out an ICE fantasy.
Listen, like,
I'm not acting out no ice. I'm just saying. I'm just saying. With if we're more calm, yes. Now, no. Now, no. If we're more calm,
Here's
yes.
the calm way that they would do it. They would take your son and tell your son to go knock on your door.
There's no need to raid a house. Honestly, that's my
the
thing.
calm
There's
way to
no.
do it.
That's
the
not calm.
There's
That's
no
chaotic.
need for ICE.
But that,
I mean, they
that's
would
the
do
calm
it.
way of doing it.
They would do something like that. That's crazy.
They
though.
would do that.
But how are you gonna tell your boss, "Hey, bro, I'm not gonna go arrest this guy because like it's not a calm way of doing that." You're not doing that if you're an ICE agent.
I'm not. Okay. Me as a person, I would do it.
Oh wow. Okay.
And that's okay. Honestly, I don't see. I see a
For
problem with that, but I
$60,000.
understand
I
where
need
you're
to pay
coming
off
from.
these loans, man.
I see where you're coming from.
Yeah, I'm just talking about the money. I ain't talking about like hurting somebody.
But
You know what? I actually love this conversation. I really do. I loved hearing that you are an undercover insert word Gestapo. I don't know. But I also love to hear that we also have people that would stick with not doing that. I don't know what I would do, but
Cop out.
thank you guys so much for watching Rolling Hills. I'm Autumn,
I'm Myles Gordon.
and we'll see you guys next week.